NVIDIA just came out with FoundationStereo, which shows impressive stereo depth estimation and 3D reconstruction results. Let's take a more in-depth look at more examples. If you're new to my channel, I have a website at kevinwoodrobotics.com where I have a bunch of resources on robotics and computer vision. So check it out and subscribe to learn more. So here's the project page for the FoundationStereo model. So this model is a zero-shot stereo matching method. So as you guys know, stereo matching is when you take two cameras and you get a depth map. But what's really nice about this paper is that they focus a lot on the 3D reconstruction results. So for those that are new to 3D reconstruction, it's a process of taking your depth map and getting a 3D point cloud, as you can see in these examples here. So here you can see that we have the left RGB image, red, green, blue image. And this bottom row is the disparity, or which is what they call the depth map. That's the colorful pictures that you see on the second row here. So one thing to note is that they only show the left image, but what they're actually doing is they have a left and right image. For monocular methods, which only uses a single camera, they would only need to have one image, but in this model, they use two images because it's stereo. So here you can see that these are a lot of the results. I'm going to be going over some of the features that I really like about this model. And the feature specifically, what I'm going to be talking about is the output of the 3D point cloud from the depth map. So the first case I want to look at is this UR robot arm. It's holding a RuCo marker, and you can see there's a cube on this black table. On the right here is the depth map that they generated. And one thing to notice right away is that this black surface, you can see that this depth map has a really nice gradient going from red to green. And what's good about this is that if you guys have done depth maps for black surfaces, you'll know that a lot of times it's not that trivial. So here you can see this is the result of the reconstruction. I took a screenshot of this so you can see better, but you can see here this table is actually a pretty nice flat and solid surface, which is pretty impressive for getting this black surface and generating this plane for the table. And here you can see a close-up of the table, so you can see it's a pretty nice surface. Again, you don't see any weird distortion as you normally would. And here's another part that I really like is this cube here, this little brown thing. So here I'm looking at the cube in a different view, and you can see that the three walls of the cube that's currently visible in this view is pretty good just for a single view. So to consider that they could generate a 3D point cloud from this is pretty impressive. And here's another example. You can see that these are some of the details of the object in the back right here. And again, you can see that a lot of the structures are very, you can see it's like boxes, right? All the surfaces are perpendicular to each other and nice and flat, solid surfaces with very little distortion, which is what's the impressive part about it. So here's another example. This is another one with a keyboard on a table. And you can see on the right, this is the disparity map. So right away from the disparity map, what you notice is you can see these faint like outlines, which is the lines between the keyboards. So these outline, you can see that helps with the 3D reconstruction results, which we'll see later on to give it the fine details for something like this small in scale. So here you can see that when I view the keyboard from like eye level, if you were to look at it from eye level, you can see all of these keys are protruding. So you could tell that this is doing a very good job with the 3D reconstruction. And here's another example with the mouse here in the same image. You can see this nice depth that is picking up just from like a top view, almost not exactly top view, but top view at an angle. So you can see that it captured the depth pretty well, and it's relatively realistic in terms of the actual shape of a mouse. So here you can see I have a mouse here. This is a pretty representative in terms of the actual shape. Here's another example that I really like too. This is a warehouse. And what you notice right away about this image is that this warehouse has glare on the floor. So there's some lighting that's coming in, which causes this nasty glare. And for those that have done any sort of 3D reconstruction with glare, you know how bad it is with glare. But you can see with this depth map, there is no sign of picking up this glare. It's a very nice fluid gradient all across the floor. And this allows it to generate this really nice uniform plain ground for this 3D reconstruction point cloud. So here's a couple of different views. If you see them going up and down in terms of the viewing angle, you can see that these ground plane floor is very nice and planar. And you can also take a look at the surrounding structure, which is also pretty good. So here we're taking a look at a comparison of stereo matching methods between the FoundationStereo as well as the other methods. So right away you can see that this depth map has a nice gradient. This is from the FoundationStereo result, and you can see the ground plane is very nice and solid with very little distortion. When you look at some of this other model, like this IGEV, you can see that this depth map here has this like red section and a sudden jump. And this results in this deformed ground plane, as you can see. And here you can see this is another one. This is a CroCo V2. And you can see that in the front, it's very badly distorted. So it's probably not even usable. This one right here is comparing the wall. So you can see how amazing this wall was rendered. This point cloud has almost nearly perfect perpendicular with the wall and the floor. And the entire wall is a nice clean plane. So this is really impressive considering all the work that has been done before. But you can see here some other one. You can see that right away this IGEV has this big blotch here. And what this ends up translating to the point cloud is this, really bad distortion that you can see here. This is a very common artifact that you'll see with bad depth maps. And a lot of times, sometimes people get around this by cropping parts of it and stitching other parts together. But here you can see that some of these other parts, they have the blotching happen somewhere else. I'm just calling it blotching, but really it's what I mean is there's a sudden discontinuity in the disparity map. So here you can see this is another one. This one, the CREStereo or CREStereo. This one I would say is the next best one. You can see that there's some slight issues with this. It's not terrible, but definitely compared to the original one, the FoundationStereo is much better. But I would say overall, this is definitely number 2 compared with FoundationStereo. Here's another nice example. This is with a robot scene here. And you can see that it captured the robot arm here pretty nicely. You can see all the details have been captured. And in terms of the room dimensions and the overall squareness of it, I would say this one did a pretty good job. So let's take a look at this other one. This is the IGEV. You can see right away when I clicked on it, some of the colors was a little bit different, but here you can see that, some of the stuff that's happening here with the bookshelf, that part doesn't look as good compared to where this, the first one, the Rs. You can see that this one with the shelf is more aligned with the rest of the things, whereas the other one, it brought the shelf much closer. So if you see here, you can see that sudden jump right there, right? And you can take a look at this one. This is a Selective IGEV. Let's see if this one. So this one tend to bring the shelves back a little bit more, but you can see the overall squareness of everything. It's not as good, but yeah, you can see here some of the robot arm, some of the details of that. We could compare that as well. I would say the arm right here looks okay. And here, this one is a CREStereo. And you can see that here, this sudden jump here, this is again a common artifact with depth maps. When there's a sudden change in colors, it tends to create artifacts into your 3D point cloud here. But overall, you can see that this arm part seems to be somewhat consistent in the different examples. The thing that I noticed more is about where the bookshelf is, because I think that part is near the back, so typically things that are in the back are generally a little bit trickier to handle. So you can see this one definitely loses the squareness of the room. And you can see some of the objects here are a little bit distorted looking. So especially the arm too, you can see that this arm here looks a bit of a mess. So not that great. And just for comparison's sake, you see when I jump back, this one is much better. So here they do a comparison between RGBD camera results and the FoundationStereo model. They provide camera results for the Z, RealSense, and Kinect. But here you can see we're looking at the toolbox. All they're doing here is taking a top-down picture of it. And you can see that their FoundationStereo impressively captures a lot of the 3D structures of the objects in there. Look at that. Pretty darn good. And if we compare it with the Z here, you can see that the Z is going to have, surprisingly, some parts actually looks not as good. So in some cases, this FoundationStereo model is actually performing these cameras. And, you know, these cameras are supposed to be very good considering that they actually have depth sensing built in. So to actually beat some of these cameras is actually very impressive. But you can see here, the Kinect is probably the best one compared to the other two. If you can see, if I jump back to the FoundationStereo, the two of these results seem to be relatively similar. And they also have other examples here. You can see this one's bolts pile. This one is with the FoundationStereo. There's some details you can see it's pretty good. All of the bolts here are pretty well captured. I'm surprised it could get all of the threads in as well. The exact thread depth, I don't think you could quite see, but overall you can see the general shape of the threads are pretty good. And here you can see this is the results of Z. You can see that this is a complete unusable mess. And let's take a look at RealSense. RealSense, you can see it kind of got the structure, but a lot of the details here are not as nice. And if we compare with the Kinect, you see that the Kinect, I would say it did okay. I would say some of the individual bolts aren't as clear compared with the FoundationStereo. So overall, I would say the FoundationStereo is very impressive in terms of the results that it gives compared with the RGBD camera results. So here we're comparing the metric monocular depth map with the FoundationStereo. So the two models that we're looking at is the Depth Anything V2, which I've reviewed in the past. This one specifically is the metric version. And then we also have Depth Pro from Apple, which I also reviewed. But here you can see that these three maps here are overlaid, or I should say point clouds. These 3 point clouds are overlaid on top of each other to give you a sense of metric scale accuracy. And you can see that overall, the FoundationStereo gives the best accuracy in terms of the true metric dimensionality of all the parts of this point cloud. But here you can see this is a 3D point cloud view. And another thing I like to point out is that not only is this point cloud very accurate, but one thing that's specifically hard is that they're looking at a shiny surface as well. So as you guys have played with point clouds and depth maps with shiny reflective surfaces, you know how hard that can be. So here you can see Depth Anything V2. Some of the ends of this got a little bit distorted if you compare it back to FoundationStereo. So you could kind of see where the distortion is happening. And if you pay attention to the faucet here as well, you can see that part is also kind of distorted in the Depth Anything V2. You can see this round part here is kind of messed up, right? And if we look at Depth Pro, you can see that Depth Pro, I would say, is a little bit better compared with Depth Anything V2, or a lot better, but if you compare with the FoundationStereo, you could definitely still see improvement in their model. But again, if you focus on the faucet here, and if I switch back to FoundationStereo, you can see the FoundationStereo has a much nicer curvature for their faucet. Okay, so go ahead and check it out. And if you found this video helpful, give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.